Whoa, what's this?
Alright, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the icode784 competition for text presentation. We'll now stand in reverence for prayer.
Let's start please about all heads and close all eyes. Oh Heavenly and gracious Father, I thank you for bringing us all here today. And I pray that as we begin this session, that each and every student who are here today can understand what the Toastmasters organization representative has to say to them, oh Lord. And I pray that they will have a better understanding on how to present their mobile application or ideas to the panel of judges for the grand finale and Christ give the ceremony for our competition. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Alright, I'm going to give you a reminder of the presentation time, the time of the event, the time that you need to be here, or not here, at the Kingston Methodist Church Hall for registration. And we made a few changes to the finals. So I'll tell you about that. The event will be held at the Kingston Methodist Church Hall on Tuesday, November 12, 2019. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. All finalists are required to register their team and to be seated by 8:45 a.m. Failure to register your team before this time, you will be unable to compete in the competition. All PowerPoint presentations are required to be submitted by 4 p.m. on Monday, November 11, 2019. We will not be accepting any changes to the PowerPoint presentations on the morning of the event, because in the past we have been having issues with that. So what you send on Monday, that is what you will be using. In addition to that, the time, each team has 7 minutes to present. That's for the idea category, the mobile app category, and the open category. Each team has 7 minutes to present. A buzzer signals the beginning of the presentation. After 5 minutes have passed, another buzz will be sung. When the 7 minutes are up, 2 buzzers will be sung. If the team is not yet finished after 7 minutes have elapsed, then they will be allowed to continue. However, at the 8-minute mark, 3 buzzers will be sung to alert the team that they have to stop their presentation. This will be followed by a 5-minute round of questioning from the panel of judges. A buzz will signal the beginning of the round of questioning, and after 4 minutes have passed, another buzz will be sung to let the judges know that they should not ask any more questions. However, if the team is answering the question at that time, they will be allowed to finish answering the question. For this year, there will be no exhibition style for the open category. So all your presentation will have to be done on stage. In addition, members of the public will be able to vote for your team. So if your parents are not able to attend, they can watch the event via our Facebook page. It will be streamed live and they will be able to vote. We will post the link where they should go to vote for your team. Voting can only be done within 30 minutes after all presentations are being made for each category. So when teams have finished making their presentation for the idea category, 30 minutes after that, then the voting platform will be open for persons who would like to vote for your team. The judges will be the same judges from prelims. So if the judges had asked you to make changes to your PowerPoint presentation or whatever they had asked you to change, you should do that, because they will be looking back at your presentation once again. As you know, one of our rules also that participants are required to visit the business of their choice in the private sector or the department in the public sector to which your idea or mobile category project is on. I will now have Mrs. Wendy Wilson and Ms. Glenda Mathews from the Toastmasters organization to make their presentation to you.
Good afternoon. Now, I'm not going to use a mic because we want you to practice your listening skills. Right? One of the things that we've learned is that when we use mics, people talk because they can still hear you. But if you don't use a mic, you have to listen. Right? So good afternoon again. It's been a pleasure for us. We are happy with the NTRC for inviting us here today to present to you. And I'm happy to see at least one person I saw last year. Think about it. He is consistent. Now, my name is Wendy Wilson and I'm here with distinguished Toastmaster Glenda Mathews. Think about. And we're here from the Toastmasters Club. Have you ever heard of Toastmasters? Yes. Who said yes? You want us to tell us what you know? No. Okay. You heard? So what do you know about Toastmasters?
It's an organization that helps persons to develop their public skills.
Yes, communication skills. But there's also a leadership side of Toastmasters where you learn how to conduct meetings, how to lead a group, because there are presidents, vice president, governor, general, area governor, etc. within the club. Right? So we are a communication and leadership organization. And one of the things we do well is to help mentor and mentor young people as yourselves. I'll just wait till everything is seated. And mentorship includes helping others to learn not just how to conduct themselves in meeting, but in public and with their peers, in school, etc., etc. Today what we're doing is a presentation on how to make a presentation. The thing is, we are hoping that it's going to be interactive, so we're going to answer questions, and at the end of it, we're going to have an activity, which we hope that you guys will participate in. Now, in order to participate in our activity, you have to practice your listening skills. Alright? So, when I heard the rules of your competition, I thought that you have to make presentations, including PowerPoint. So, we'll talk more about that today. Now say if you fail to prepare, you have to be prepared for what? You have to be prepared to fail. So what do you think is necessary to prepare? Hello?
Resources.
Because you don't want to fail, because you want to pass, you want to win. Isn't this a competition?
Yes.
Alright, so who think they're going to win this competition, by the way? So we have 4 winners in the house. Now, based on the time that was given to us to be here, I will tell you one thing. Only one person would have passed this contest if I was the judge. It would have been that young man there because he's the only one who came on time. Who? Right? Yes, you. So right? No, you can't walk in at 1 o'clock. 12:50? Okay, next time make it 12:45. Alright. So the first thing in preparation is, this is when you're doing your PowerPoint. If you don't know what you want your PowerPoint to say, your audience won't get it. Alright? When you look at this, what do you see? Okay, what else do you see? What did you say? Words, right. What is wrong with this slide? Right. First of all, too many words. Right? that's the first thing when you're doing your PowerPoint. Make sure you do not have too many words on one slide. Secondly, you choose your colors and you choose them wisely because each color evokes a different emotion. For example, red. What red says to you without looking there?
Love.
Red says love. Okay. What does black say? Death. Okay, that's the emotion it evokes for you. What does orange say to you? What? I didn't hear that. What does orange say to you?
Fire.
Hazardous.
You said gloom?
Yeah.
Okay, gloom, hazardous. Okay, pink?
Girl.
Girl. Okay. So, orange is supposed to say fun and invigoration, but to her it says gloom. So remember, you have to keep your audience in mind. You want to use pink, it might say girly, but it also says friendliness. Right? White, of course, what does white always say?
Empty.
Purity. And what? And empty?
Love.
Okay, first time I'm hearing that one. Brown says seriousness, purple, etc., etc. So you can look up the different emotions that is evoked by these colors. So remember, not too many words per slide, and choose your colors wisely. Also, the font you use. Now look at this. Toastmaster Glenda and I were looking at this and we thought this was a good example. I'm going to give you a secret. Toastmaster Glenda is not wearing her glasses. So she said, what is this word, Toastmaster Wendy? I said, well, I think it's supposed to be developed. But she only saw the missing piece and asked, but what is develop? So you use your fonts and use them wisely. Because you don't know if you're the person who's going to judge you, if that person sees well, if they probably would have forgotten their glasses at home that day, and they have to go based on what you have written there. So this is a bad example of what your slide should look like. I hope that's the only one I have like this. If you see any more, let me know. Alright? So choose your content appropriately. And in order to do that, you must know your audience, right? What does it mean to know your audience? When you hear know your audience, what comes to mind? Yes?
The age group, the amount of people that will be in it, and by that speed, level of professional, and society.
And the educational level. Right. Because you have to know what words to use. Right? Now, you're doing, this is about IT. I don't know much about IT. So if you use some IT words to me, I might look at you like you're speaking a foreign language. So if you know your audience, even though you might use some terminology that is not, that the audience might not know, you will know enough to explain what that term is. Of course, I expect your judges to also be IT people, so they will understand what you're talking about. Hello. So I'm going to do one thing I don't normally do. I'm going to recap for those who just came in. Because I believe in time, but I know it was raining and they're coming all the way from St. Joseph Convent. So, ladies, we were speaking about making a PowerPoint presentation. So we said if you yourself don't know what you want to achieve with your presentation, your audience will know. When you're making your presentation, try to avoid having too many words on a slide. Choose your colors wisely and also your font. Right? And we're at this topic. Choose your appropriate content. You have to know your audience. And knowing your audience means you think about their educational level, you think about their background, and you use appropriate words so that they can understand what you're talking about. Are we up? Have we caught up? All right. Now, why is it important to choose the appropriate attire when you're making a presentation?
Because you're not trying to distract or take positive attention away from the actual presentation to look at how you do it.
Okay, good.
Professionalism.
Professionalism.
It could be on
Persons and audience tend to look at how you dress to see how if you feel confident about how you are. And most people, if they think that your dress is not appropriate, instead of focusing on what you are saying, they'll be focusing on what you wear and thinking that, well, I don't want to listen to her because she doesn't look like she's confident.
Okay, have you ever been in that situation?
No.
Okay. Yeah?
You must wear attire that is comfortable, that you are comfortable in as well, because you don't want to, like, if you wear something and you have to keep pulling on, it's too tight, so you need to be comfortable in what you're wearing.
Yes, you're all correct. First of all, your attire must give you some level of professionality in the specific area in the topic you're speaking on, right? For example, I came here to Toastmaster today. Yes, I'm in my uniform, but had I not been in my uniform, I'd have made sure I dressed the part, right? So you always dress for the topic you're speaking on. Wear comfortable things, especially shoes. Females, wear comfortable shoes. The worst experience you can ever have is to be nervous in front of a crowd with shoes that are hurting, right? I can give an example of that happening to me. It wasn't that the shoes were hurting, but the heels were so high. I went to this Anguilla church. We were playing pan, and this is the first time I'm playing pan in front of an audience for church by myself, solo. And I'm wearing these heels because, you know, I'm convinced and I want to look good. And I walk out in front of my pan and I'm so nervous, I'm shaking. So I walked across, asked the pastor if I can take my heels off. He said yes. And I stood on the altar barefooted, but I played. But had I just worn my comfortable shoes, I would have saved myself from that embarrassment. But I did well, so they forgive me. But you don't want to have that experience, right? So always dress comfortably. Now, there are different clothing you can wear. If it's a business pitch, you wear business attire. If you're pitching on something for a farmer, you won't go in a suit and jacket, would you? You dress the part. If you're talking about some medical research, you dress the part. So there are different things you can wear. It's always good to dress appropriately for the topic that you're speaking on. In Toastmasters, we speak on many different topics. There was a speaker who did, again, pan, and she bought a pan, and she had on her pan t-shirt, sticks and everything else. And even without saying a word, we all knew that her topic was going to be pan. So sometimes, how you present yourself can help you sell whatever you're selling, okay? So they say, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Right? So you have your PowerPoint ready, you have your clothing and everything ready, but are you ready? In order to be ready, you have to practice. You should always practice. Don't ever think that you're good enough, because I am sure this young man would not have been here second year if he thought he was good enough. Would you?
It's my third year.
A third year. Right, so is it the same thing you're doing or something new?
New, and yes.
And you're improving as you go along, right?
Yeah.
And this comes from practice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about practice. When you're practicing, have you ever listened to yourself? Have you ever recorded yourself and listened to your voice? You've never done that? You should. You'll be amazed what you sound like through your own ear. The first time I heard my voice, I could not believe how high-pitched I sounded. I didn't like it, but I grew to accept it. It's mine. You have to know the sound of your voice in order to know how to modulate your voice. You have to know, when you're excited, your voice go up, or if you're nervous, your pitch might go up. So if you're nervous, you know to speak a little deeper. so they will understand what you're saying. If you're one of those people who gets nervous and speak really, really fast, then you know you have to slow down, enunciate, and explain what you're trying to sell. Alright? Practice in front of a mirror. Have you ever gone in front of the mirror and just danced? And do you think you look cool? Well, that's the equivalent of practicing your speech in front of a mirror. Sometimes you look at yourself and say, but why do I do so many of this? Or why do I have my head on one side? You won't know unless you stand there, seriously look at yourself and practice. You might even want to record yourself and look back at the video. So if you record yourself and look at the video, you have the vocal and the visual to guide you, right? But you should always practice. And if you're practicing, I would suggest you do so with friends. You might have a best friend. This best friend might be biased. You might sound ridiculous and say, you're good. Get at least 3 persons who have 3 different ideas about what you would have said. I will give you 3 different feedback. And that way you have a better idea of how to improve. Right? So you've practiced. How often do you think you should practice though? Right? Yes, I'm asking you.
Every day.
You should practice every day. Every day up to the time. And try as much as possible not to change every time you practice. Not to change the whole, some people every time they look at the presentation and say, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm one of them, by the way. So what I do my presentation early, put it down, go back to it and say, I might not like that, but I'm keeping it. Because what you practice is what you're going to deliver on the day. So if you skip something while you practice and say, I know that on the day, you might get to it and say, wait, what was I supposed to say here? So practice your entire day, okay? So on the day, you're ready to present. This is the first order of business. Always, always, always be on time. The worst thing that can happen to you is that you can be a flustered presenter, which means you arrive late, you're there 2 minutes, your name is called, you have no time to settle down, you're hot, sweaty, bothered. Your presentation will go downhill, I can guarantee you that. You've done enough of those, right? Well, we've seen enough of those. Because why? You're not thinking straight. You're hot. It might just be a hot day, it might not be as cool as this. And if I remember Methodist Church Hall, it can be very hot sometimes. If you get there, even though your body temperature is not hot, in your mind you're thinking, oh, but I haven't settled down yet. Leave wherever you go, coming from, whether it's school or home, at a time when you can get there, set up, sit down and relax. Toastmaster Glenda and I came here today to present to you. We were here at about 12:15 or 12:20 for our 1 o'clock presentation because we were trained to be on time. I remember one time I was going to a presentation at Sunset Shows, and the presentation started at 3, and I decided I'm going to give myself 45 minutes to get there. I left home at 2:15, but guess what? I ended up in the middle of a funeral. It took me 35 minutes to get out of the funeral and another 15 minutes to get to the place I was going. I got there almost 10 minutes late and I was frustrated and upset. But the only consolation I had, I was not the presenter. But I think I was a judge. Yes, I was a judge. But then, the introductions and all that was going on. So you think about where you're going, but it's going to be a lot of traffic and whatever, and you get there on time, right? And one of the reasons why time is important to us is because we know 1 second and you're disqualified. It's part of our training. Mix and mingle. Now when you get there, you settle down, you walk around the area you're going to use your speaking area. You know, you just walk around and say, oh, this is the mic I'm going to use. Oh, hi, Mike, how are you doing? Just getting to know your area. You walk around, you might not know, you will know the people who are your judges, and you just say hi to them. And all of a sudden, in your mind, they will become familiar. So when you stand in front of your audience, you're not just standing for the first time. I just walked around with them and I mingled with them. So these are people I know, and I'm familiar with them. You know? It's something that happens with the psyche when you mix with people, even just to say hello. You stand in front of them, you're no longer afraid of them. Right? So mix and mingle. And be confident. So if you wear that beautiful outfit, and if you got there on time, and if you mix and mingle, and you have a powerful presentation that you practice for, you have absolutely no reason not to look like a kitty but roar like a lion, right? You have to be confident. And in order to be confident, you have to know exactly what you want to say. Have it there and feel free. Free of all encumbrances, meaning no tight shoes, and etc. When I just joined Toastmasters, this is how I used to speak to people. Good morning. Me looking at my toes. But over time, I learned how to be confident. So today I can look at you. But it came with practice. Everything gets easier with practice. Everything. Even winning. Right? So be confident in what you're selling, and that confidence might just give you the ground. Part of being confident is not showing nervousness. Now, who wants to tell me what they do when they get nervous? Okay. You shake like this? Oh, like this? All right. And yes?
I look at my particular spot.
So you look like this?
Well, above the audience's head.
That's what you do when you get nervous?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't look at the audience, you look okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to share?
I crack my knuckles.
You crack your knuckles and you're talking. Okay. I used to do this. So nervous. Oh my God. I know persons who would have done this wicked or put their hands in their pocket. The hands in the pocket are very famous among men. You know, they're talking and they lean back. Trust me, that's nervousness. Try not to show that. You can stand like this, not like this. You stand, you can move from side to side, but don't do it too often because it shows nervousness. I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to be nervous. We still get nervous every time we speak. It doesn't matter the size of the group. Well, let me speak for myself. I still get nervous. But I find when I stand before an audience and I say, good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, it alleviates some of my nervousness. And as I move around and speak, the other butterflies fly away. Yes?
What if you're just an active person? Because with myself, if you watch the past presentation that I have, I'm not normally nervous when I present, but I'm a very active person. I'm excited. So before I present, I might be there, happy and stuff. So what the mistake that for nervousness? Because I won't be nervous. It will just be me, ready.
So that before you present?
Before I'm just ready and I want to go quickly.
No, you see, nervousness, they would know the difference because I'm sure you're ready and then you come out and then you present and your voice is powerful. They will get that as excitement.
Okay.
Even if you know you can channel nervousness into excitement.
Right.
And don't Toastmasters then will tell you all about body language because she's good at that. I'm not. But you can channel all of that, all of your nervousness into excitement. You can use your voice. I mean, some of my hand movements might not be natural, but then it's part of your excitement, right? So it's okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Excuse me, when you're speaking, please to raise your voice a little louder so that we can hear you.
Oh.
Oh, you've been recorded, sorry. So try as much, and there are actually some people who bite their nails when they're nervous. I mean, I know people who bite their nails all the time, but some even more when they're nervous. Are you nervous right now? I see both of you biting your nails, or it looks that way. And please, 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 do not memorize your speech. Why do you think I'm advising you against memorization?
Because when you put at one point, they just practice it.
Exactly. If you forget, you pause, and there's some people who you don't remember quickly enough, and then the judges realizes that you lost your way. And sometimes you remember, but the momentum is lost. But if you have two cards, or, I mean, there's a trick you can use for memory, but I won't go into that because I'm not an expert in that. Or, you see, PowerPoint's perfect for memory. You just have something there, like do not memorize, and I remember. That will help you with the memory, right? Because a lot of times I've seen it, you forget, you lose your way, you lose your point, you lose the prize, and you might have been on the way to winning. I'm like, oh. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yes. So try not to memorize as much as possible. Do PowerPoint. That's my trick to remembering anything. I use PowerPoint. Alright? So also your body speaks. But you see, my body does not speak as loudly as Toastmaster Glenda's. So this is where she comes in. And I have my seat.
Okay, so you have your presentation, you know exactly what you want to say, you feel confident, you rehearse, you practice. What is your body going to say? What is your body going to say to the judges? I'm feeling my item that I'm going to sell, I feel it. Or is it going to say, hey, you need to listen to what I have to tell you? Project your voice. Now, sometimes, you tend to want to tell the judges, but this is the best product for the person to listen. I trust this sometimes. Or, this is my project, this is my app, and I think it is the fittest one for the island right now. So if you... Exactly. So at one point we were too low, and another point we actually shouted. You do not shout, you project. And projecting is finding the pitch behind the throat from in the tummy out. Even without a microphone. If you're using the microphone, it's on. It's on. It was on. So you have to balance. If you're using the microphone, you're not going to have the microphone close to your mouth where you get it. Get it? You find a pitch, you gauge it, and you listen. So we wouldn't be talking and, oh yes, trying to get the, you see that? So you have to be cognizant of all these little gestures that can throw off your presentation. Have you ever heard anybody talking and then you hear that? That is because the mic is too close to the mouth. So you gauge it. You get comfortable. So you find a distance where you can speak and it sounds natural. Without the microphone, you remember to project your voice. Again, from the stomach to the back of the throat. And you make your voice go out, the projection. Without shouting, without being soft and muffled, you project your voice. Use natural gestures. We in the Caribbean, well, most people, they tend to talk with their hands. When we're speaking, we tend to do this and we move up and I always give the joke where I was told of a story that just took us from the jungle where we're accustomed to pelting bows and arrows, so we are accustomed to that kind of gesturing, so we always use our hands. Some people, they have natural gestures. Others, they use the unnatural type. So when you're talking, you tend to use your hands a lot to say what you're saying. If you're demonstrating a product, that's okay, you use your hand and you show where, what is. Or if you're just simply talking, you keep your hand like this in front of you. For the males, you can bring it up a little here. For the ladies, just about waist length. And if you wish to make a point, you want to get across, you just use your hands naturally, not the antics, and it should, precisely, it should be blending with what you're saying. I can't be talking to you and have my hands moving like this and going all over. It doesn't come natural. So you use natural gestures with your hands. And again, practicing in the mirror, look at yourself, giving your presentation, and just move gently and sway into what you're saying to see if it works naturally, if it blends in with what you're saying. And you can't be saying something that you're passionate about and swinging or rocking from side to side, back and forward. You make sure it's natural and you are comfortable. Maintain eye contact with your audience. You want to have people engaged in what you're saying to keep their attention. So you make eye contact. One person said they look straight over the audience's head. You tend to want to make eye contact with somebody in the room. You may, even from making a simple eye contact, you can get a little encouragement. Somebody is nodding in agreement with what you're saying, and thereby you get a little more boost. Yeah, this person is into what I'm saying. So you make eye contact. You can touch on each person in the audience if you wish, or if you have a familiar person in the audience, a family member, a friend who's there to support you, you can look at that person and get your boost of encouragement. Make sure you watch. I tend to encourage persons to look in the center of the forehead when you're speaking to somebody. That is coming close to the eyes. When you look here, it looks like if you're looking at the person directly in their eyes. So you can practice what you like. In the center of the forehead, it looks like if you're looking at me, right in my eyes, but actually I'm in the forehead. Instead of zoning overhead, your eyes elevate above where the people are sitting. So people are saying, okay, she's staring at something in the back, or not really looking at us. So go for the forehead. It's a simple thing. Facial expression. You are pitching an idea to judges. This is your product, your app. So you want them to see that you are passionate about what you're selling them. So you can't be saying, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to present to you now, when your face doesn't convey that. So your face should convey your emotion you're feeling on selling your app. You cannot be telling somebody about a funeral. You know, because I'm dying. Oh, that's the wrong facial expression for that moment. If you're talking about a death, you are sure, of course, the grief on your face. Really, really sorry to hear about that. Or, you know, the son just passed. Pardon? Go ahead, let's hear you.
I said sometimes at funerals it's hard to do that. If the person is crying and with some funny too, and you're trying to show sorry to someone,
You want to show off. So you should show the facial expression to what it is you are presenting. There's a time and a place for everything. You know, so sometimes you might hear something and it's a surprise. So you show surprise, usually you raise a, huh, really? Is that so? And when you're really happy, it comes out in a smile and your eyes are all light up. So you show the facial expression, and this is your project, this is your app, so you sell it with enthusiasm. And you make it show that on your face is sincerity, project sincerity through your facial expression. Do not apologize for any mistakes at all that you make during your presentation. Remember, this is your presentation. Only you alone know what it is you are going to say. Nobody has any preview to your presentation. So we do not know what you were going to say next. But if you say, oh, sorry, forgive me, I missed the part. Immediately you draw the attention that you made a mistake. You know your presentation, you alone know what you are going to say next. So if you do make a mistake, move right on. Sometimes the judges would hardly notice. The only time you should say an excuse is for the written text. You're reading and you make a mistake, my apologies, you read it over. But for your presentation that you have here, only you alone know it. When you make a mistake, just move right on smoothly. Nobody would do it. They wouldn't even know that that is not to come, or if you want to mix up and bring something forward or push something back, that's up to you. Finally, and most importantly, stay within your allotted time. In Toastmasters, we are allowed 30 seconds grace period. So if our presentation is 7 minutes, we are allowed 7 minutes and 30 seconds. So know your time. I think the young lady mentioned what the time it is. Practice your speech to time. Nobody wants to be sitting, listening to a 7-minute speech that is going on for 15 minutes, 45 minutes. You eventually start to bore people and then it gets a little worn out. So stay within your allotted time. Practice, practice, practice. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes improvement. The more you practice, the more you will improve on your way to becoming. So stay within your allotted time. You all know the time for your presentation. How long we are? 7 minutes. 7 minutes. So make sure when you are practicing that you practice to time. Have somebody time it or you time it yourself to make sure that you stay within your allotted time. I think there is disqualification for going over time. Points deduction. So more points you can accumulate. Let's do that. Let's recap. What are the 3 P's? What do you do first?
What's the first thing you're supposed to do?
Prepare.
And then
Practice.
And present.
And present. Excellent. Toastmaster, when you join me back, please. So let's hear the 3 P's again. Prepare. Practice. Present. And I hope that all the tips we have given you guys on being prepared, practicing, and presenting, that you all will incorporate them into the presentation. And remember again, nothing speaks louder than body language.
So the more you practice, of course, the better you will become. Okay? Any questions for us? Yeah?
I know that you said that we need to practice every day and as often as possible. But would you advise to practice the morning of like your home?
No, absolutely not. The morning of, you're supposed to, it's like the morning of the exam. No cramming. Just relax. No cramming, because actually you really do not remember anything when you cram on the morning of the exam. You might think you do. You do?
Yes.
You regurgitate. That is what you learned before. Okay, but with this, no cramming. Yes?
I don't know if you would do for the presentation when we are actually presenting it. Would team of people would one be allowed to bring the device and put it before the judges and present it with the actual devices and the other person speaking?
Those questions will be asked in the question and answer section.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question you're asking us is about the presentation.
Yes.
Anything else? You have a question?
Just, was it the PowerPoint presentation itself? How much time is listen there again? How much time or how much effort should you put in making the PowerPoint presentation?
It depends.
Or should just have basic information and then you use yourself to.
Well, it depends on you. It depends on what you want to sell. For example, let's go back to the slide. This one. At first we just put like a hand waving or something. And we thought, will that really sell natural gestures? We thought, no, we need a gift for that. And we found this one. And you just look at it and it says that, right? Your PowerPoint will help you to sell. It definitely will. So every tool you can use to help you to sell, I suggest that you use them. The more work you put in your PowerPoint, don't overcomplicate it. If you notice our PowerPoint, they just have like 3 words in there. Don't overcomplicate it, but let it sell. And it will help with your memory and plus your presentation of yourself and your app or your device or whatever. Everything combined, I'm sure you'll get graded all around. So I think, yes, you should put some effort into it. So seeing that there are no other questions, guess what? It's your turn. Oh, one more question? Yes.
You spoke about the postures and what not to and what postures to avoid. What would be the best posture to take when you are presenting?
If you have a lectern, you can stand by it. You would not limit yourself to being strictly behind of it, but you can stand next to it. You move away when you want to make a point, when you want to say something significant, and then just gently go back. If you have your notes that you're using, or if you can. So you walk away for emphasis when you want to say something that you want to grab attention, and then you go back. If there's no lectern, you stand, a comfortable stance, heels slightly together, toes apart, and you take your position, whichever is comfortable for you. If you're holding a mic, well, you're holding mic and have one hand raised like this, and you speak. And use the other hand just to give natural gestures to emphasize to your judges and your audience what it is you want to say. So anything that's comfortable for you. But do not limit yourself to one position. You move away for emphasis. So you grab your audience's attention. And then just stay back in position. If you have a long stage, of course, you wouldn't drag the judge's eye from one point to the other. You just have a, limit yourself to a certain area that you want them to look at you while you're making a point, especially if you really want to plead with them that this is the app of the next new generation. You see? And then you just take it.
Now, if you have an app where you have to dance, then you have to use the whole stage.
Then you use the whole stage.
Another tip about the lectern, Toastmaster, let me just point to you about, if you have reading material, first thing, you don't staple them together because then you have to turn, right? You keep them apart and you just slide them like this and then you have to read. So you don't staple them.
You hear that? There's noise and then there's paper. So you don't ever staple them together. You lay them out and then just move from one side across. Slide.
Right. And then there's also well, we call it a trick, but it's not really a trick. If you have a lectern and you're reading, you don't want to be reading like this, but you want to walk away. So you print it big enough that you can stand by the side, you glance down, you read, you look at your audience. You can step back, glance down, and they don't even realize that you're actually reading It just looks like you're looking down, you're looking across, you're looking across, you're looking down. But I guess that too will come with practice. So we've spoke about presenting and we did our best, and we hope that you would have learned something today. So to show us whether or not you learned, we want 4 volunteers. We're not at we have you. So all those who volunteer, please come down. Come. So who wants to be our first person? Number 1, come on down. Hello. Hi. So this segment is called Table Topics, where we're going to give you a topic and we're going to ask you to speak on it. Now, you guys are the judges today, alright? You're going to choose the best of them all. So don't worry, this is also practice for the next thing, right? So whoever wins today will win on that day. What do you say? No?
Alright. So your judges, your panel of judges. You are what is the word in the this and right. So innovation. So you are going to sell this to your judges. So you're not taking a water glass. So you take a few minutes, you look at your item, this is your item, only you alone in your item. And get your time. Right. Time it. 3. Oh. 2 minutes. So you cannot speak for less than 1 minute 30 seconds, and you cannot go over 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds disqualified.
Yeah, and over 2 minutes and 30 seconds, disqualified. So remember, you must repeat. But prepare, practice, present. 2 minutes.
Oh, to prepare?
Yeah, to prepare, you just 10 seconds. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I will be presenting on a water pump disc object, as everyone could see. So, with water pumps, we know that we use it for various activities. We use it for fun, and many persons of different ages, we use it for different activities. Sporting activities, recreational activities, and also we may use it for just, watering plants if you want to. Okay, so with the water pump, the mechanism is that you go and you get the water in a tub, whatever you have the water containing, and you put it. Simple pull, even a 5-year-old could do this, and then you shoot, and it has the very narrow exit where you could shoot directly at your target. Okay. So the label says ages 3+, and yeah, that's basically it. It is for $6.99, and you can get it at Curiosity Store, so it's not very expensive, so not only rich persons can get it, but persons who are poor or middle class. So, this is the water pump, everyone. Independent, colors, represent and the Grenadines. Thank you.
Number 2. Who's going to be number 2?
Good afternoon to one and all. The product I will be selling to you today is Oral Clean Spectacles Cleaner. Now you see, me, I am 60% blind. I cannot see without my glasses. And even if I have my glasses on, if my glasses are not clean, how will I ever see what's on the borders? So, in order to use this, all you have to do is spray this also clean onto your spectacles and leave it just for a little while. Then you can wipe it with a clean cloth, which is specifically used for cleaning glasses. So you do that until it's dry and it still is clean. And you can do this not too often, maybe once or twice a week, and you store it at room temperature. Not in a freezer, not in the blazing hot sun, but store it at room temperature. So why do we need this? Like I said before, it keeps your glasses clean so you can see properly. So it removes the dust and the dirt easily. It covers spectacle surfaces with a protective film. It leaves all the surfaces smear-free without no fingerprints and smudges in your glasses. And it provides anti-static protection. Now, here are some dangerous warnings for all those out there. You should not ingest this thing. Do not spray it in your mouth. Please do not. It contains some very dangerous chemicals. So please keep it out in the reach of your little ones. Don't plan too early. Please do not give it to children. And it is not for use on contact lenses. It's only for your spectacles. I thank you.
Okay, judges, observe your body language, observe your eye contact, observe your vocal variety, the voice pitch, how they are projecting your voice. Our next.
So in my hand, I have a pack of Jiggles crackers. There are 3 in this pack. They are flavored. It is made from flour, wheat, and cornstarch. It also has monosodium glycerate, which enables it to get its taste. And it's produced by Noah, a trusted company. This biscuit contains 27 grams. And to keep this product, you must store it in a cool and dry place. As you can see, it may be small, but in small things come great things. So this might be tasting so much better than a Dixie biscuit. So I would advise you to take this and something that is small to get great things. It is also nutritious. It has a lot of calories. It has 130 calories. So for those who are watching the calories, who are limiting it, it has 130 calories. So you are able to take this biscuit and you're not going to burn off a lot of calories. So I would advise people who are on a diet to take this. I would also advise people who not really eat plenty to buy my product, because you don't have to go and buy food all the time and you don't want to waste the food and you're not going to eat it. So instead you can buy this and you just munch on it if you know you're not a person who eats a lot. It is not high in cholesterol. So to people who are watching the cholesterol, I would advise that you buy it. And it's not full of sugar. So if you know you have diabetes, because I know some of us might have diabetes, not sure. You can also buy this because it allows you not to have a lot of sugar consumption, and I think it's healthy. I thank you.
Have you been tired of picking up hot patties off your stove with your bare hands? Isn't it painful? Well, introducing a spatula. I know it is very difficult to be cooking with your bare hands as you get burnt and you suffer lots of damage. But this will change your life. As you take up each of those patties or whatever you're cooking and you place them into plates without suffering damage to your hands and other body parts, you will be amazed by this product.
My name is Stanislaus Gomes, and I myself has been victim to burnt hands by picking up hot sausages or hot eggs. With this new product, we will be able to pick up our eggs like never before. Safely.
So cheap. Yes, using your hands is free, but the surgery to get them fixed, I'm sorry, but it's expensive. As for this, it's just $3.99. Come on, make the right choice. Choose the spatula.
All right, judges. You need time to deliberate? No. All right. What do we say for the water pump? What do we say for the icing? The duplex? The spatula? Our water pump spoke for 1 minute and 39 seconds. Our cleaner spoke for 1 minute, 52 seconds. Our Ducaler spoke for 2 minutes, 7 seconds. And our spatula spoke for 1 minute, 5 seconds. What happened there? Precisely. So the one that you voted for at top spoke. Barring, we did not have lights and so to guide you. And I'm sure at the event you will have bells, buzzers to guide you. So just a simple exercise for us to be cognizant of all the falls that we can fall into.
I have one question. Why did you choose the spatula speaker? Yes?
Because the way how they presented it caught my attention from the first word that they spoke, so it's like...
So was it their vocal variety?
Yes. And then the way how they explained and
enthusiasm, facial gestures, so when we were speaking about the situation. Correct.
And you realize that what this said, it resonated with you. You can think of a burn. I'm sure you had spatulas for syrup burn at some point. And also, they didn't just go straight to the product. They spoke about why you needed the product. So they give you the benefits of having the product. They also give you, did they give the price?
Yes, $3.95 I think you said. $3.95.
Right. And they tell you why it is cheaper to use their product than what you've been using before, which is your hands, right? So in every which way they resonated with you. Of course today we're not disqualifying them because they're not in an actual Toastmaster session, but we're just telling you what would have happened. So we have a few. This person did well, but you can tell she didn't know her product because she had to read it to tell you. Now, mind you, the person who did this didn't really know her product either, but she spoke as she read it. She was telling you it's good, and I knew she was reading it because some of the words she was saying was written on this, but you didn't know that she read that there, did you? But it didn't come across like that. But this one, you knew she was reading, right? Exactly. But sweetie, this is yours. You can have the loop. You sold it well. No blood pressure, no diabetes.
cholesterol, calories.
Yes? What's the question? Why?
Well, I had a question about free change. I forgot it. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, can the contestants come back? And judges, let's give our contestants
So we thank you guys for participating. Give them a round of applause. And you see the joys of volunteering.
I don't starve.
You don't starve. So we want to thank you for inviting us today for doing this presentation. We hope that you would have learned something and that we would have helped you to enhance your presentation. And of course, may the best man win. When I
Alright, at this time,
I think the argument I said man, may the best man win. God made man. We are all man. May the best team win. My apologies.
alright, at this time we'll have a feedback from one of our judges.
Hello everybody, my name is Emma Jackson. I'm the Deputy Director for the Public Sector Reform Unit located on the Service Commission's floor, Ministerial Building. I have been part of NTRC's competition since it began in 2013. So I have seen all the students that have come on board and they have been doing quite a lovely job thus far. And I'm here to just share with you a few tips to even get you further into gaining greater apps, greater ideas, and hopefully making you some money at the end of the competition. As one of the judges and judging for quite a while with the NTRC, I have observed a few things, but before I go into my tips, I'd like to say that all the presentations that I've seen, either judged or seen so far over the years have been really good. Just that there are a few things that I think with encouragement and practice, a lot more apps and ideas will come out with great quality. So I have a few tips here that I would like to share with you. And the first one is I am dealing mainly with the idea of an app. And the first one that I'd like to talk about is do not just come with one app idea. Do not come up with one app idea. Have a variety of ideas. Come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas that you're going to select from. So from that one that you're picking up, you're going to choose the one that you think is the most feasible, the most practical, and the one that you can relate with passion, so that you're relaying that information from your heart. Okay? Now, so choose that one that you know you would be able to handle after going through a number of various ideas. The next point, when you've chosen that particular idea, probably you're still maybe on 2 or 3 ideas actually, do research. Research is really key in coming up with your app idea. Research. I'm sure so many persons would have spoken to you all about that. research is really, really key. I have a number of pointers on the research, and when you're doing your research, make sure that's intensive. See if that idea or app exists. So you're going to look around and find out if there's an app already with your idea, or if that idea is already floating around, but make sure that your idea app is one that is unique to you. So you have to do research and make sure that somebody else out there hasn't already done it or is thinking about it, and maybe how you can go about and improve on that particular idea app. Then you want to find out which entity would most likely benefit from this particular app. So you want to go to them, you want to ask questions, you want to find out from them how it will benefit them and what else maybe you're missing in your idea that could improve this particular app. So go to that entity, be it the private sector or the public sector, but it is very important that you go to them. Then you want to find out who are the potential users of this app. Interview them, talk to them, find out if they would actually use this app, and find out what they're looking for from this app. That will help to redefine your idea or help you to even build more on it. Okay, so always ask questions. There isn't any bad question until you've gotten out and fleshed out everything that you require. You also want to find out what will be the cost, the possible cost for such an application. Yes, it's an idea, but the idea also has to be produced at some point. So what is the production cost of such an app if you are to put it together? Most times the judges are waiting to hear if you did that sort of research. Even if it's not an in-depth research on the cost, it gives the judges an idea that you have researched in that particular area. You know what it will take to put the app together. My next point is to explore, well, I had said it already, explore the users, find out from them, interview them, and ensure that this is an app that will be used and not just an app that will just sit there. And I'm sure if you were to try to put it on the Google Store or Apple platform, you want to make sure that it's something that will be accepted in the first place. Mentor. Every school, every candidate comes in with a mentor. So make sure that you seek a mentor. Seek a mentor. What do I mean by that? Find out from your mentor that you can share with your mentor the topics that you came up with. Share with your mentor. Make sure that your mentor has an idea, understanding of the topic, or at least has knowledge of application building, so that when you're going through your process, that mentor is there with you from the start to the finish. That mentor should guide you from the beginning to the end. One of the things that we notice is that when some students are speaking, you're not quite sure if there was somebody there to guide them. So it is your responsibility to make sure that you pick a good mentor, or that your mentor is there with you from beginning to end. Because remember, you're also asking questions of your mentor. All right? So make sure your mentor is there with you from the time you come up with an idea to the time of your presentation towards persons, the judges, the audience. All right? The presentation style. When you're presenting your idea, physically, I would love to see, and I think I'm speaking on most, from the point of view of most judges, that you appear to be confident. And I use the word appear. Most times you come with butterflies, and that's not a bad thing, because when you have butterflies, it also says that you are ready, you know what you're about. But appear confident. Do not come looking as if you're not sure why you're there or if you were forced to be there. So appear confident. It will aid with your points. Let's put it that way. Also, rehearse before you come in front of the judges. So gather a few friends, your classmates, family, and make sure your mentor is there as well. and rehearse your presentation in front of them so that you feel confident again when you come to the real deal. Make sure also that questions are asked during your presentations. Try to find persons who would ask possible questions that the judges may ask so that you are aware and ready for such questions. If you did good research and you're confident about the topic that you've chosen, no matter what questions the judges bring before you, you would be able to answer them. No matter, we always give points for answers, but answers has to be close enough. It shows us that you would have done research, okay? Your PowerPoint presentation. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All the animations and all the customs that you see, and we know you know how to use PowerPoint, but right now the PowerPoint isn't part of the presentation to give marks. What we're looking for is the content on your PowerPoint presentation. So keep your content simple. Do not have all the flashes, because remember, I know in my judging last time you had 7 minutes or thereabouts. You do not want in your total 7 minutes presentation that your animations would have taken up 3 minutes. That means you're presenting for just 4 minutes. Utilize all the time that has been given to you. So keep it simple. Put only the important points on your slides and have your notes. If you rehearsed, you will know what's coming up next, and you would have your notes on the side. Nothing's wrong in reading from your notes, but do not appear as though you just got those notes the morning before the presentation. So rehearse your notes so that you can just look down to see what the points are and you speak freely. Remember, it's a competition. So maybe I should have mentioned that first, but I left it last because this might be the one that you might remember. Remember, it's a competition. So what do I mean by that? You've come to win. There are stakes involved. It is money, it is reputation, you name it. So what you want to come with, you want to come looking as a winner. So from the beginning, when you've gotten that idea, what you're going to do with that idea is make sure it becomes the winning idea. So remembering that it's a competition will ensure that you do your research. It will ensure that you will pick a proper mentor. It will also mean that you would make sure that your presentation, the style, the content are all up to par, so that when you leave there, you know that you are the candidate to win. So again, it's a competition. Yes, you may come in first, second, or third, but you want to be amongst the first, second, or third, if not the first. So I hope all the points that I would have presented, you take it to heart, so that next competition, you are the one on top. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that was Mrs. Emma Jackson, as she said before in her presentation. As you know, she's one of the judges in the secondary idea category for this year's competition. So you will be seeing her again for the finals of the competition, those in the idea category. Now, I would like to make a few recap of some of the rules and regulations for the finals for those who came late. Now, the event will be taking place at the Kingston Methodist Church Hall on November 12th. That will be a Tuesday. November 12th, 2019, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also, registration for all teams, and I state and I put emphasis on all teams. All team members need to be at the Kingston Methodist Church before 8:45 a.m. in order to register their team. If you do not make it by 8:45 a.m. to register your team, you will not, and I repeat, you will not be presenting on the day of the event. In addition, all PowerPoint presentations need to be submitted to the NTRC either via email, or you can physically bring it on a flash drive on November 11th by 4 p.m. We will not and I repeat, we will not be accepting any PowerPoint presentation on the day of the finals, no updated PowerPoint presentations on the day of the finals, because it gives us a lot of, kind of backlash. I will see. We have a tight schedule to work with. As you all know, we have 12 teams in the idea category, 5 in the mobile app, and 5 in the open category, so we have limited time to work with. And bringing the PowerPoint presentations in the morning of the event set us back that time that we have to use. Also, I would like to read some of the guidelines. Each team has 7 minutes to present. As we all know, a buzzer will signal when 5 minutes is up, and a second buzzer will be signal when 7 minutes is up. You have a 1 minute time frame to wrap up after that, and then 3 buzzers will be sung to let you know that you have to stop. Okay? Now, we know last year we had, for the mobile app category and the open category, you were allocated an extra 5 minutes to present your prototype. Now, that will not be this year. You will use the 7 minutes that is allotted to you to include your PowerPoint presentations, to include your prototype within the PowerPoint presentation. So, you have 7 minutes to present, and your PowerPoint presentation, your prototype, will need to be included into that. So your explaining of your PowerPoint presentation and all that will be needed to be placed within the 7 minutes. So in total, you will have the same 12 minutes that is allotted to the secondary idea category. Understood?
No.
Okay. Secondary mobile app category. Normally we give 7 minutes for PowerPoint, 5 minutes for prototype, and 5 minutes for the round of questioning. This year, we're giving you 7 minutes in total. So normally you would have 12 minutes on the stage to present. Now we only have 7. So you can decide if you want to use 2 minutes to do your PowerPoint and 5 to do the prototype, or whatever. You can split it how you want. Understood? You can put the prototype in the center, you can put it at the end whenever you want to display your prototype. It's just 7 minutes. I don't think